This has been in the back of a drawer for at least 50 years. It's a gold-colored non-ferrous metal and weighs 26.8 grams. I have no idea what it is, and reverse image search hasn't turned up anything. I have a fantasy of it being a custom brass knuckle made from a gold nugget from Sutter's Creek during the gold rush in 1849. I would welcome any information or ideas. It's the handle of a candlestick holder, made in India in the 1970s. Here's one that looks almost identical, except it doesn't have the screw holes. But maybe it was attached a different way. Maybe soldered or something. What is this basket-like thing attached to the pipe? Seen on a home listing. The house was built in 1903 in Lamoille, Illinois, and it seems like it's original to the house. Image search didn't work. Hopefully you can tell me what this thing is used for. Thanks in advance. It's a fire hose rack that would attach to that angle valve. It was made by W.D. Allen Manufacturing Company in Chicago, Illinois, circa 1910. New commercial construction, at least in the US, has hose valves, but very seldom install the actual hoses now, and they're always in cabinets. This is because the hoses were susceptible to tampering or wouldn't be maintained. The fire department would much rather bring and use their own hoses. Source? I design these sorts of things for a living. What is this pair of heavy, rusty flat metal hooks with a loop on one end? I found this in the basement of a 1910 house in the San Francisco Bay Area. They are pretty big, around 2 feet tall, metallic, and very heavy, but I don't know their function or use. Someone said it's for hay bales, but these things are huge, much larger than the hay bale hooks I've seen in the past. Also, they are in a very urban area. Any help you can provide would be much appreciated. Those are parapet hooks, used to attach suspended scaffolding to parapet walls. They are often used when there is not enough space on a roof or balcony to use an outrigger beam. I used to work on scaffolding and we used these. What is this tool found at a sale of old woodworking tools? It has a wooden handle with a heavy metal blade, sharp near the handle, but dull around the spiral. The best I can find an answer to this curly question is that it might be a rug-making tool, but I'm not sure how it works or in what tradition. Any help idea or clue is appreciated. It's called a churi, a curved sharp knife used to trim yarn after tying knots in carpet weaving. The area near the handle would be for cutting thread, and further away they use it as a batten to beat the weft down and make sure there are no gaps. What is this round object with a small hole in the center, found in the ruins of a very old stone house in Ontario, Canada? The village was settled in approximately 1820, and the house was probably from around this time. It is solid cast iron, approximately 4 inches wide. The hole is not threaded, and the back is slightly concave. Any help figuring out exactly what this is very much appreciated. It's a small patras plate, used to structurally tie walls together. These are designed to reduce bearing stress on structures, provide structural support and stability, and strengthen them, especially exterior walls of masonry buildings. What is this large wooden hoop? I have no idea what it's for. The previous owners left it hanging in the garage, with a small bag of wooden rings and fixings with it. Around 1 meter in diameter, it feels hollow, around 1 kilogram or 2 pounds at most, and there is a hole drilled on the bit that sticks out. It's located in Scotland, if that gives any clues. Any ideas? It's the bottom part of a hanging egg chair, made of rattan and bamboo, designed and manufactured during the first half of the 1970s. It looks like it was painted to be bamboo, but is covered in rust. In the bag is the spring to hold the chair from the upper arm that would connect to the base, and the bolt to connect the base to the upper arm. What are these old farm equipment? I was given these 2 pieces from a farm after the owner passed about 10 years ago. It was from a farm in Picton, Ontario, Canada. I'm not a farmer and have no idea what it is. Can anyone assist? These are antique harpoon hay forks from the early 20th century, used for lifting hay bales into the barn loft. The levers have been pulled up by hand after the harpoons have penetrated into the hay bale. When the levers are pulled down, it will line up the points of the harpoon to let the hay bale slide off. What is this copper jar found in my 95-year-old aunt's house? It has no opening at all, hollow but completely sealed. My first thought was some weight from an old grandfather's clock. It could also be an urn, but it seems empty. Help me out here, please. It's a Deccan water flask, sometimes called a surahi, originating from the Deccan region in India. Essentially, it's a traditional decorative water bottle with a distinctive shape originating from the Mughal era in India, from 1526 to 1857. It was used to serve water or other beverages, often presented during special occasions. What is this tool? I found it in my grandpa's toolbox, and it's at least 30 years old, about 9 inches long, with a heavy handle made of some type of natural material, and a threaded end. The knurled part is threaded and it spins up and down on the end of the threaded rod. Any ideas? It's a cheese slicer, without the cutting string. There will be 2 holes opposite each other in the metal ring around where the handle meets the shaft. The wire has balls on each end that go into these holes, with the center of the wire going through the slot at the end. There is a small spacer missing that sits on the end to hold the wire spaced away from the shaft. It also doubles as a cheese fork. What is this metal thing attached to the coffee table, found at an Airbnb in the eastern townships of Quebec, Canada? It is metal, old and rusty, but it still moves. It's attached to the table, it opens, and it doesn't seem like it would work as a coffee grinder. To get a sense of the size, I left the Scrabble tiles in the photo frame. Any ideas? Please let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.